Hi you guys! Today's video is on lesson 1-8, which is finding differences. For today you are going to need your math journal and you are also going to need a pencil. To start off, you have probably heard the word differences before and we use it in math class, but it's also used outside of math class too. For example, maybe you've seen these pictures before, which is some guy looking like he's running, and the question sometimes is how many differences can you find between the two photos? So you're looking for things that are different between the two pictures. If I really wanted you to do this, and you can, not going to stop you, you'd see that, he's got a star on his shoe that's different from the circle, and he's sweating on this side compared to that side. So there's differences between those two pictures. On the right-hand side, maybe you and a friend have some differences or things that you differ about, so maybe sometimes you argue about that. Hopefully you're able to talk about them. But these are just some examples of things that we use the word differences for outside of math. But in math class, difference has a very special meaning. It means the number of spaces between two numbers. So we're going to do some practice today using your number charts and being able to find the difference between two pairs of numbers. So if you could open up your math journal to page 13, and I will go there too. So page 13, which is lesson 1-8. I might have said 1-7 earlier, but it's 1-8. This is what you're going to find. Notice that the key in the upper right hand corner has a calculator with a circle and then a line through it, so no need to use a calculator on this page. But this is our number grid, 0 to 110 on this page. And just to review that, we know that when we have number grids like this, and we see that the numbers in the right hand column all end in the number 0. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, on and on. They all end in zeros. The next column over all ends in 9s. The next column over all ends in 8s. So basically what I'm trying to say is that every column, if you go over, or if you were to go up, so if you were to go from 20 to 10, you would be going by 10 because they're grouped by tens. And it's the same thing across here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So each row has 10 numbers in it. You can see 10, 20, so we're adding on 10 every time as we go down. So we're going to practice finding the difference between two numbers. So for example, if you look at your number grid here, and if you were to start at the number 30, so if you find the number 30, and I'm going to highlight it, let's do blue. If you have a highlighter, that's fine. You don't have to personally highlight it. If you want to make like a little star with your pencil, you can do that. Sometimes in class I'll give you the little transparent counters that you can use like when we play bingo, and that helps too to kind of keep track of your numbers. So let's say we're going to start at 30 and we need to find how many spaces it is to 57. So we're going to find the number 57. Here's our row of 50s. Oh, and there's 57, so I'm just going to make this red. Alright, so we need to find out how many spaces it is to 57. So I want you to think for a second about what you might do. I'm going to show you one method of what you could do to get to 57 from the number 30. One thing is that you could put your finger on 30 and then move one row down to 40, which you know is 10 spaces, and then move one more row down to 50, which is 10 more spaces, or 10 plus 10 is 20. We're still not at 57 though, so now we're going to count by ones, because you see if we go down one more row we've gone too far. So we're at 20 and 50, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we've ended up on 57. So we know that 7 plus 20 is 27. So we know that there's 27 spaces between the number 30 to 57. So once again, that would be the difference between those two numbers being 27 spaces. Let's try another one. Let's find the number 83. Go ahead and find it. I'm just going to highlight it. And we're going to look for the number 33. Ends in a 3, so we're going to go up. All right. So how would you find the difference between 83 and 33? If you said going up by the rows and keeping track, you'd be correct. You could, let's say, start your finger on 83, and then we'll go up by rows and keep count of the spaces. Remember that there's 10 spaces in each row, so you can count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or if it's easier for you to go 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, and knowing that there's 10 in each row, that can help you with the number 2. So yes, indeed, if we were to start at 83, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So there would be 50 spaces between the number 33 and 83. Now, if you truly don't believe me, you could start at 83 and count one by one all of these digits, or I'm sorry, not digits, but numbers, and you would find that it's still 50 spaces to get to the number 33. Let's try one more. I'm going to clear this off. And this time we're going to do 19, so find the number 19, and 34. I'll switch it to red. Okay? So go ahead and figure out how many spaces are between 19 and 34. If you went down one row, which is 10, and then counted over by singles, that's definitely one way you could do it. So let's do this together. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 spaces between 19 and 34. All right, what I would like you to do now is to look in your math journal on the bottom of this page, and you are going to use the number grid to help you solve the rest of the problems on this page. So, for example, let's look at number 1. Which is less, 83 or 73? So find the number 83, and then find the number 73. Which of those is the less number? And a reminder that the word less is also can mean lower, closer to 0. Sometimes you can think of it that way too, as long as you're working above 0. But we know that number 73 is a lower number. It's a smaller number compared to 83. So we're going to go ahead and say that 73 is the lower number. So you should be writing this in here too. And how much less is it? This is a term that we can use when we talk about differences. How much less is a number? So what is the difference between 83 and 73? How many spaces are there between 83 and 73? This one's pretty simple because 73 is right above the number 83. So if we were to go up one row, we'd say that there's 10 spaces. So there's 10 spaces, or the difference is 10 between 83 and 73. All right? I want you to see if you can do the number 2. And then also looking down below, I would like you to try numbers 5, 6, and 7. You are going to use the number grid for this. And then don't forget to respond to the questions on the math form online. Now, of course, if you would like to do more problems than the ones that I have highlighted, that is just fine. Good luck.